Ladies and gentlemen, this is a story that came out on HuffPost, July 14th, 2018. White people have been dialing 911 on Black people since 9/11 was invented. 911, ladies and gentlemen, is 50 years old. And since it's been around, when have they not called the cops on Black people? They've been doing it since it came into being. Now, we know these calls have been going on, and the only difference now than from 50 years ago when 911 was invented, we can now record these incidents. And as you can see, each one of these incidents are all about race. Each one of these incidents do not have anything to do with a crime, has nothing to do with violence. It's really an incident that they're creating. The moment they walk up to you and open their mouth, they created the incident. It didn't come from us. You know, the beautiful thing about the internet is these incidents go out worldwide. It is now giving the entire planet a chance to see exactly how it's really been going down in America. And it goes down the same way that it went down during chattel slavery, during the Reconstruction, during the time when all 200 Black towns were burnt down over lies. And in all these incidents, ladies and gentlemen, we were approached. We were approached and kidnapped during chattel slavery, during the Reconstruction when we were trying to build lives of our own. We were approached and things were stolen from us. And white mobs came in to burn towns down. We were approached. During Jim Crow, during all of the hangings, we were approached and incidents were started and people were lynched. When you watch the civil rights marches, the people on the sidelines, they were the ones throwing the bottles and the rocks and screaming out the racial slurs during the time of civil rights. They were the ones bringing the dogs and sicking it on the people that were peacefully protesting. They were the ones rounding people up and snatch. You can even see the footage of them grabbing Dr. Martin Luther King and arresting him. He was not harming anybody out there. He wasn't taking a swing on the cops. He wasn't taking a swing on the racists that were on the sidelines throwing bottles and rocks and yelling. But they arrested him anyway. You can still see the footage. And now we're in the day and age of the call to the cops. And we see it unfolded the same way we have seen it for centuries. They come up to us and start the incident. When they're cops, make an arrest, a bogus arrest, they come up to us or stop you in your car and start the entire incident. Ladies and gentlemen, them walking up to us and making accusations is historic. This is not new. I even read some comments from Black people, and they were like, why are they doing this? Why are they starting to do this? No, honey, they're not starting to do this. This has been going on for centuries. And it's been going down the same way for centuries. The only thing we got in our pocket now, these videos go viral and people can really see who it's coming from and how it's getting started. This is why I'm starting to get emails from people even in other countries saying, now I see and I understand what's happening to Black people in America. And they thought we were just complaining, but they're now seeing the real truth. So, you know what? I'm not mad at Donald Trump. Donald Trump has done something for the Black community that is priceless. He is making the whole world see how racist incidents occur from start to finish. Ladies and gentlemen, this ain't happening to everybody. They are specifically targeting a Black man, woman, or child out here in public. And then once they target you, they come up and start making accusations that have nothing to do with a damn crime. Sitting in your car in a parking lot, sitting in your car listening to a CD, delivering a newspaper, selling water on the sidewalk, even if you don't have a permit. How bad of a crime is that? So you're telling me the little white children that are selling lemonade on the sidewalk, they all got permits. Get out of here. They don't have no permit either, and you know it. You can't go in a restaurant and not have the cops call on you. You can't stand in the restaurant parking lot and the cops won't be called. And these incidents are occurring daily. You can't go to a pool, you can't grill, you can't use Airbnb, you can't go to Starbucks, you can't be a student at Yale. And all we see over and over is the Black person being approached by somebody that's claiming they are suspicious. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess it's official. Black skin is suspicious. Mowing a lawn, that's suspicious. You cut a patch in her grass. They cut a patch in my grass. I'm calling the police. You know how stupid you look. I even remember an incident a year ago. A Black woman was walking her dog and she got approached by this white woman that started an altercation with her. And all she was doing was walking a dog, not breaking the law, nothing. But she walked up and started with this woman that was simply walking her dog. And I remember I did a story on that incident. And she did what we see over and over. As soon as the cop shows up, the white woman starts crying. Do you really think that's believable? We all know what you're doing. It's fake. You're performing. Just like the woman that called the cops on the man that was sitting in his car with the American flag on his hat, listening to a CD talking about, why are you following me? Why are you, oh, get away from me. Get away from me. She approached him. Do you know how stupid she looks? She approached him and then started putting on a performance when she was on the phone with 911. Ladies and gentlemen, now you see how easy it was for them to get Black people lynched. This is exactly how it was done. They approached a strange Black person on the street and started making accusations. And we know 90% of the men that were lynched in America were business owners, Black business owners. They would lynch them, steal their property, steal their business, start passing the business along in the family. And that's how it was done. Steal the bank account. And then look at you talking about pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Well, you didn't even pull yourself up by the bootstraps. What the hell are you talking about? But these incidents, ladies and gentlemen, they're cruel. They're mean-spirited. It's an attempt to get you killed by the cops so that they can keep their hands clean. And on top of that, have boasting rights about having you beat up or killed by the cops. That's what this is all about. Only someone evil would do something like this. So, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what happens, we got to get on with our daily lives. We don't have a choice. You know, people got jobs. People have to make doctor's appointments. Your kids got to go to school. We still got to live life around all of this madness of being approached, accusations made, and cops called over things that have nothing to do with a crime but normal living. And yes, this has been happening for the 50 years since 911 came into existence. I wouldn't be surprised if the first phone call made on the 911 system was a white person calling on a Black person over a bunch of nothing. These are the times we are living in, ladies and gentlemen, and just be prepared. Make sure you don't send your children out the front door without them being prepared and knowing about this whole thing. We got to stop being in a state of shock and start going into defense. You call 911. You give your side of the story. You take the police report or anything else you can get your hands on, your video that you're filming, your police report, and you start filing a civil suit for personal damages, for emotional duress. You are now traumatized from this situation. You start filing those civil suits. And don't sit idly by. And don't, if you want to leave that situation, you don't have to stand there while they're on the phone calling 911. There's no crime committed. And even if the cops did come to you at another time, what are they really going to say? Officer, there's a man listening to a CD parked in my neighborhood. They can't get you on that. That's why they didn't even take a police report, because they can't arrest you for that. And also remember, all 911 calls are recorded. You ask for a copy of the phone call. You may have to get a lawyer, but if you can get a copy of that phone call to get exactly what that person said, to get the police out there on you, get a copy of that recorded phone call. It's not impossible to get. Look, these newspapers get it all the time. And, in many cases, attorneys, they know what to do, subpoena them to get it. But if you can get it, get it. Get all the evidence you need to go after these people that are doing this to innocent people. And it just, especially our children. Our children are probably the most innocent victim in this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually an opinion piece, and it's a very good piece, by the way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the description of, the link to this article in the description box so that you can come out and read it for yourself. We got to get out of the state of shock. And don't start going over the top with your emotions when this happens. Keep your composure and just understand two things. You do not have to be standing there like a mental slave as they call 911. This is why it's critical that you call 911 too. That way you get your side of things also recorded through the 911 system. And make sure you always say, I was approached. I was doing nothing wrong. I was approached. Make sure those words come out of your mouth so they will clearly know who started the entire incident. So, just like they're staying on code, we must stay on code. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.